Oh, hi there. Almost didn't see you. Welcome to another edition of the Week 12 Matchup Preview Show. We have got just some great stuff for you as we come to you live from the Preview Parlor here. Now, the Preview Parlor is where we're going to be broadcasting from now to the near future. All right, don't have to worry about frogs ribbiting. Don't have to worry about cars backing up. We just get it all to ourselves. And when we're down here, anything goes. So, without further ado, let's talk about last week so we can start talking about this week. Last week, your preview show predictor, 3, 2, and 1. Once again, those ties are really putting it in me, really D'ing me in the A, if you will. I don't know what our season-long tracking stats are, but if I had to guess, I'd probably say I was about, let's see, 12, 11 weeks in, probably getting, 3 or 4 predictions right about, maybe 44 and 22, something like that, 38 and 28, something, so definitely above 500. When it comes to making predictions, nobody's better than yours truly right here. Benson Harper can attest to that. He's got nothing on these picks. We're going to keep it balanced and basic going forward from here on out today. We are at the halfway mark. Every team has played everybody one time. We are now about to whip it back around. We're going from home field to away field, if you will, right about now. Oh my goodness, we've got our first caller from Allatoona, Pennsylvania. Folks, we got to take this right now. Let's see what's going on in Allatoona, Pennsylvania. No, I'm not interested in refinancing my student loans. Thank you anyways. All right, proceeding. Halfway home. We've all played on our home field. Now we're going to the away parks. How can we do when we are not in the friendly confines of our own fields? Well, that's what it's going to be like here when we face each other. Lots of these teams have totally changed since their first round match. If you go back and look at some of the players, there are very few teams that look exactly like they did in week 1. So we can just go ahead and throw those things out the window, throw those past matchups out the window, because these teams that are playing each other are not the teams that I think that they were in week 1, and you can go back and check it for yourself. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today's going to be kind of numbers heavy. We're going to be talking about what teams have done in the first half of the year. We're going to look at them, maybe putting them in some tiers, letting you know who's where and whatnot. We'll get to that later. But first, let's talk about our matchups for the week. Let's start first. I want to start with the matchup of the week, but I want to say that for a little bit later. So let's start off with our first place team, Evil Morty, going against Krusty's third nipple. Krusty's third helped Wonderbag out of the snide last week. Much appreciated. But he would have played any other team in the league, he probably would have been a lot closer, if not pulling out a dub. Put up some great stats last week, much like every other team. It was very offensive heavy this past week. Saw a lot of 4 ERAs for teams and a lot of 108, 110 total bases going around. Pretty impressive stats last week, offenses. I got to say, everybody seemed to pick their poison and do really well in terms of matchups and things of that nature. Probably helped. We had a lot of games in parks where offensive stats are inflated. That's changing this week. But let's go ahead and talk about Evil Morty and Krusty. Evil Morty, woo, boy, all week, losing. Sunday, tied. Kudos to you, man. Really didn't want to see you come through like that, being in the division that I'm in with you. But got to say, not a surprise to anyone that you managed to get a non-loss, as you've done another 9 times this year, a non-loss. Krusty, although your team played well last week, I don't foresee that continuing. You still got a blasé offense and a pitch staff that is really good. Chris Sale, Caleb Smith is coming back. Steven Strasburg, he got jacked. That was nice to see. Will it continue going forward? Chris Sale dominating? Yes. Strasburg sucking? No. Your pitching is going to have to carry you this week. Offensively, there's no way you can compete with Evil Morty. Pitching is going to have to be your saving grace. But you had Chris Sale and Strauss twice last week, I believe. You don't get that luxury this week. I'm going with Evil Morty. Going to 8-2-2. Krusty's third going to 6-5-1. All right, next matchup. Let's stay in that division with Krusty's third. Let's go with the 2 men that are battling for first place in that division. No Host Club and Rocky in Russia. Now, No Host Club, I was glad to see the name change come back, man. Wasn't really digging Ice Ice Baby. So I'm glad to see No Homers Club making a presence known here. Rocky in Russia, defending champion of the league, eked out a tie. I thought you could have got the dub. You didn't. It's okay. Things like that can happen from time to time. No Host Club, on the other hand, I thought you were going to tie all week. I didn't even know that Ryu was pitching Sunday night for Jaycock to get him the dub in innings pitched. That's a couple times this year that innings pitch stat has really come back to bite you in the keister, my man. Sorry about that. This week, though, I don't think it matters. You're getting Giancarlo back. Your team's getting healthier by the day. Looking at it, I really think your offense can do something. Pitching, meh. I'm not that impressed with your pitching staff, but your offense, if those dudes all come back healthy and bashing like they're known to, sure, you're going to strike out 6 billion times a week, but you're going to jack 18 to 22 home runs in my eyes. Maybe 18's a bit high. 18's a bit high, 18 to 22 in 1 week, even with those guys back. Let's bring it down a little bit. Maybe a little more like 13 to 17 a week. Either way, 13 home runs as a bare minimum in the barometer. Can't complain about that, man. Can't complain. You're not going to complain this week because you're picking up a dub over Rocky in Russia, only enhancing your win percentage. Maybe you might get a tie. God, I might call this a tie. I haven't called it a tie all year. Spur of the moment. I'm swapping it. No host club. I can't give you the dub, man. I'm going to give you a tie this week. I'm calling it. Finally going to predict my first tie of the year between No Host Club and Rocky in Russia. Get out those abacusses, boys. It's time to count some stats. Next up, let's go with our matchup of the week. Matchup of the week here. These guys are nervous facing each other. Or at least one of them is. This is a chance to really prove himself. But I've got a bad feeling about this for the team that's nervous coming into it. That's little Red Roosters. Red Roosters and Behind is our matchup of the week. Red Roosters, you've been on a road trip. You've also been on a winning streak. I liked what I've seen last week, beating down Mike Hagar. Hashtag gotta beat Ben. Behind, on the other hand, just does what he does. He beat Austin, convincing style, even though Austin's team played pretty well offensively. Behind did even things better offensively than even Austin could handle, even Austin Riley could do. Behand's pitching. Thor's hurt right now. Not a big deal. Clevenger's back. He's got some dudes on the deal that are coming back slowly but steadily. Thor won't be out very long. Luis Castillo, though, trending otherwise. X-FIP, FIP, don't really line up with the ERA right now. Still walking a few too many guys. That's for your stat out there, my man. But it doesn't matter this week. You're going to beat Red Roosters. Red Roosters is a team that has to rely heavily on starting pitching to do something. Even though Austin Meadows, Juan Soto, Brandon Lau, he's got guys that can do things offensively, they're just not going to be enough to carry you against a team that's stacked like Behan is. So Behan, you're going to pick up the dub this week in our matchup of the week. Congratulations to you. Moving forward, now we've got the team that Roosters beat down last week. We've got Mike Hagar going against the Topes, the Springfield Isotopes, a team that I really like what I see from that squad. Even though he's got not the flashiest of name players, pitching-wise, he's still got a great staff that's going to be able to subdue the opponents with a, sub-4 ERA each week, I believe, going forward. Offensively, God, picking up Jordan Alvarez, man, that's the move right there that every team wants to make. A young gun that just comes in and you can bank on him. He's ready to go out the gate. Firing on all cylinders. Reminds me a lot of the Cody Bellinger pickup that Code Nobes made 2 years ago that helped propel him to a title. Knowing they've got a great outfield with Alvarez, Brantley, Betts, Buxton. I know I'm even missing a dude in there too. Your offense is going to be great. Your pitching is decent, if not good. So this week I predict another dub. Mike Hagar's got some things to improve upon. He's trying to make some moves, dump him the cart piece. That was a good thought. Or at least I believe he dropped the cart piece. My facts, I spout off of the list before I totally check the stats from time to time. But the Topes, I think that you're going to be good enough to pick up a dub this week in convincing style. I'm thinking 11-6. So Topes getting the dub here. All right, moving on. We've got a couple matchups left to go here. We're going to go ahead and touch on Roger Clemens. New name change. Dude, I love Roger Clemens. Never been shy about loving Roger Clemens. Going against Wonderbat here. Now, Wonderbat, team finally picked up a dub, lose 3 in a row, finally picked up a dub last week. The A-Train, also known as Roger Clemens, hasn't picked up a dub since Memorial Day? No, that was too soon. Let's see. Stroking my chin here. Like a month ago, dude. I don't think he won since April. It's embarrassing. Last time I did preview power rankings with the S&M sisters, you were one of my top teams. Now, I look at the stats, look at what you're doing each week. You've got a couple dudes you're just riding. They're not going to be able to carry you all year. Dallas Keuchel getting signed by the Braves was the best thing that could have happened to you. It's not going to be enough, though. This ain't Dallas Keuchel 2015 Cy Young. All right, this is Dallas Keuchel 2019, hasn't pitched in almost 8 months competitive Major League Baseball. So Roger Clemens, even though with all that, I still think your offense can do enough. You threw up, I know this is Tuesday afternoon, so you've seen some Monday stats, but 21 innings pitched yesterday with 1 earned run, 2 earned runs. That's some grade A baloney. Or in the words of Veronica Corningstone, grade A bullshit. Grade A bullshit from little Anchorman right there. Actually, I don't know if I misquoted that. Benson and Ahab will definitely tell me how I misquoted it later in the Slack. If you're not on Slack, where you at? On the Slack board. So I definitely messed that up. Correct me. I appreciate it. Roger Clemens, so you're going to pick up the dub. You're going to pick up the dub this week, man. Sucks, man. You're going to be Wonderbat. But, hey, long season, but you're going to be 2-0 against Wonderbat on this year. All right, we've got one matchup to go here. That is last place, Homer Depot, going against Division Tire, Jake Cock, Mr. Tickles. Mr. Tickles, I've said all year long, you're the stash, man. You're the stash. Austin, and you playing this week, that's only good for you. Everybody likes to pick up a win. Sorry, Austin. But right now, when we play, it doesn't matter. You're just giving up the dubs left and right, man. And Mr. Tickles, he doesn't really need a dub right now just because he's sitting in such good shape. I like what I'm seeing from his team, as I've said all year long. I really like the 6-4-1 sitting in 5th place in the playoffs. If the playoffs started today, you'd be in the playoffs. That's something you like to hear at the midway point. It makes you just, you don't have to stress as much over, looking who's available on the waiver wire, scrolling through your phone at all hours of the night, trying to make trades, trying to find diamonds in the rough. Oh, man, look at this. Over his last 14 days, he's batting .386. Score! You're doing it with just the no-name squad, man. Like I said last week, the no-name squad is doing work, and this week I think you're going to continue to do work against Homer Depot. Homer Depot, sorry, man. You're going to be a loser again this week. You're going to fall to 1-11-0. Jake Kike, you're going to go 7-4-1 and further solidify a spot in the playoffs. Now, going forward, I said this was going to be a numbers addition. And going back in the first half of the year, what I've done is I've calculated the wins and losses of each team thus far through the first half of the year, just to give us a barometer of where teams really stand. Do we have any teams that are, like, how is that team? You know what? That team is better than I thought the record was. Or, that team right there, they're playing pretty they're playing pretty crappy. How are they doing that? So what I've done, I've added up what we've won, what we've lost. No ties going into it, just straight wins and losses. All right, so we've got our teams. They're broken down into 5 different categories. So we're going to start at the bottom here. Tier 5. This is where we've got Roger Clemens and Austin. On the year, Austin, you're 82-118 at a 41% winning clip. All right, if you guys don't know how to figure out the winning percentage, take the wins and losses, add them together, take the total wins divided by the total that you calculated earlier. So Austin, 82-118 puts you at a 41% winning clip, which is right now the lowest in the league. Personally, I thought you're going to be in the 30s, so that's a step up for you. Roger Clemens, on the other hand, a team that I thought was really, really good 3-4 weeks ago. You're sitting at a 45% winning clip, a 4.51 to be precise. I'm going to take it down to the thousands because a lot of these teams are really close. Roger Clemens, you're 84-102, man. Solidly under 500. 18 games under 500. 18 points under 500. You should be embarrassed, man. You need to, I don't see you doing anything to improve that. I don't see you really adding players on waivers. I don't see you utilizing your moves every week. I don't mean you have to max them out, but on the year you use 28 moves. By far the second to least. Homer Depot. Let's look at that stat right there. 25 moves on the year for Austin, 28 moves on the year for Anthony, and they're the 2 teams treading in the Tier 5 division. The next team up has made 49 moves this year, and that's D-Hard. These 2 dudes have barely made half as many moves as the next guy in front of them. Think about that. So those are my Tier 5 guys. Let's go to Tier 4. Tier 4, we've got our defending champion, Code Nobes. Code Nobes in a 94-106 this year for a 471. If you want to take it out to the thousands, 47% winning clip. In the tier join with you, we've got the division leader, Krusty's third nipple, 6-4-1 per the record, But looking at his numbers overall, 92 and 103, a solid 11 games under 500 for a 4.72 or 47% winning clip. That's not that great for a first place team to be at 47. If I am Billy Baseball right now, I'm thinking, oh shit, this is good for me. This is real good for me. All right, so those tier 4 players. All right, no more in tier 4. That's what we got. Now, tier 3 and up, these are the teams that are sitting at above a 48% winning clip. These are the teams that are right there, just, ever so close. A couple games this way, a couple games that way from being at 500. And we're going to start off here with Year of the Stash, Jaycock. Jaycock in the year is 94 and 100 for a 4.85 or a 48% winning clip. You can round it up to 49 if you so choose. 94 and 100. So, not looking bad. Like I said, Year of the Stash, he's doing us some no-name guys, but he's doing it at a new 500 level in that tier 3. Joining him in tier 3 is Wonderbat. Wonderbat's sitting at 94 and 97. Right now, him and another player have the fewest categories won or lost combined, sitting at a total right there of 201. That's our 191 rather. That's showing you that there's some categories that are a lot of ties each week. So he's nobody's losing 13-5 or anything like that. It's really like the 9-8. No complete games, ties and steals, ties that way. So that's a 492 winning percentage or 49%. That's my tier 3 guys. All right, tier 2. These are the guys that the playoffs started today. I think they should really represent the playoffs. Sad but true. A couple of these teams, though, are trending down, while a couple of our tier 3 and 4 teams are trending up. Tier 2, we're going to start at the bottom. We got Mike Hagar sitting at a 502 winning clip at 96 and 95. He's the other team, along with Wonderbat, that are spouting off 191 total points this far. Right there at 500, we saw him start the year strong, but he's not in love with his team. I've said all year he's kind of a mess squad, and the numbers aren't lying in that. A 502 winning clip. Joining him, right above him, Year of the Sav Dog at a 508 winning clip. 505 winning clips, and at 109 and 106. Look at the differential in points between Benson and Savdog, Wonderbat and Savdog. Red Roosters, 505 winning clip at 109 and 107. Sitting right there in mediocrity land. Right above him, this is the man that should be licking his chops right now. We've got the No Host Club sitting at a 513, 99 and 94. 5 games over 500, a 513 winning clip, in a division with 2 dudes that are sitting at a 472 and a 471. So nearly 40 points more than them. That's great news for you, man. You getting your healthy dudes back, Big Bombers back. You could make a run at this division depending upon how things shake out. But 4, 5, and 2, sitting in 9th, not a big deal right now with a 513 winning clip. Next up in this division, a team that I really like, and this highest of the tier. I almost put him in tier 1. He's right on the cusp, but I couldn't quite put him there. We have got the Taupes. The Taupes are 106 and 94, 12 games over 500 this year. A team I've liked all year, a team that everybody knows. Reinmart, trash talking. We were buying that earlier. Reinmart team, buying that now. 530 winning percentage. Nice even. 106 and 94. All right. So that takes us to our top 2 teams. The teams that are really representing. Obviously, we can know who's going to be 1, 2, who's going to be 1, who's going to be 2. Both of them happen to have the last name Harbor. The other Harbor is really doing a disgrace right now to his other brothers. But first off, we're going to start. Drum roll first. Tier 1, 1A if you will, or 1B, Evil Morty. 108 and 80, a 574 win clip on the year. 28 games over 500. Dominating teams offensively, doing just enough with the pitching staff to really not make anything else even matter. You're bludgeoning opponents right now. So you're our second place team in tier 1, which means Bihan, a team who I harp on every week as being a good squad, a really good squad. 119 and 84. He's beating people, and when he's losing close. He's a 586 winning clip. He's 12 thousandths of a point better than the second place competition. When we're talking about winning percentage, that is a huge gap right there. Kudos to you, A-Harb. You've constructed a team. You took the year out of retirement, came back fresh. Like what I'm seeing from your team. Will it continue all year long? I certainly hope not, but we will see going forward. 119 and 84 for a 586 winning clip to top our tier 1 squads. The best of the best of the best. All right, boys. That takes us to the end of my 20-minute mark, end of my banter, my rant about numbers, about previews. I hope you enjoy all 20 minutes. If you have any ideas, maybe change the preview parlor name. Give me some thoughts. I definitely take them this week. Thoughts on the jersey? Went to Jose Altuve. Nobody suggested that, but he was only what Walmart carried in my size, so had to make do with what I had at the time. I'll see you next week. As for now, let's take it out with a little... all for Beehive, if I'm not mistaken. Number 1 team in the league takes us out. See you next week in the preview parlor.